Clock. Time to reach for mobile water. Mobile water, unique in every way.
Hello, good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. The news is live on Joy 99.7 FM and Hits 103.9 FM here in Accra. We are on Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi and on myjoyonline.com. We are also live in all 16 regions of Ghana via various affiliates, live on X Spaces and Facebook. The Midday News is supported by Petrosol Platinum Energy, energizing dreams. Coming up this afternoon, police bust notorious gang behind a string of violent robberies, including attacks on 10 rural banks across 5 regions. More as the IGP hails it as a major breakthrough, with 3 suspects shot dead and a nationwide manhunt launched for the others on the run.
We have successfully arrested 10 suspects. 3 other suspects were shot dead in the course of the operation during a shootout with the police. We have launched a manhunt for the remaining suspects who are on the run. We will not stop until we get them arrested.
Plus, chilling revelations that the gang used a service rifle from a policeman they killed during one of their operations. Also coming up, anger and frustration over government's failure to stop Galami and its poisoning effect on food and water, as CSOs, church leaders and parents ramp up pressure on President Mahama to declare state of emergency now.
Where are the people who said 1 week? Sam George, my brother, Igbo, Okujeto, where are you? We have to call you out. My own brother, Roxy, down here, Paul, you cannot change your math.
We have details of shocking statistics from the Ghana Water Company Limited reveal record new 94,000 turbidity levels in the central region, making river water non-treatable.
In the 6th of September, So the turbidity, they recorded 94,800.
And the normal should be around what?
You can see, like 50.
More plus reactions to the alarming poison of food on the market. Also coming up, President Mahama's popularity takes a slight slip but scores historic majority approval across all 16 regions in the latest Info Analytics polls. We have details and analysis of this and more shortly. And later on, Ghanaians to pay more for electricity as the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission announces a 1.14% adjustment in tariffs effective October 1. We hear the PURC's explanation for maintaining a 0% adjustment in water tariffs.
In the case of water, the shift in price was about 0.1%. In the wisdom of the commissioners, they thought 0.1% tariff adjustment wouldn't mean anything.
And we have sports.
Ghana's Black Starlets' fate hangs by a thread after crushing defeat to Ivory Coast in the Wafu B Under-17 Championship.
All these and more coming up on the Midday News. I am Ofori. This is Joy News, independent, fearless and credible. This afternoon, police have arrested a notorious gang behind a string of violent robberies, including attacks on about 10 rural banks across 5 regions of the country. Inspector General of Police Christian Tetoyohunu, who addressed the media alongside top officers of the Police Management Board, described the operation as a big strike against criminals who have terrorized financial institutions and communities, saying it is a major breakthrough. He revealed that 3 of the gang members were shot dead during an exchange of gunfire, whilst a manhunt is underway for others who escaped.
I'm delighted to announce that we have successfully dismantled the gang behind all these robberies. So far, we have successfully arrested 10 suspects. 3 other suspects were shot dead in the course of the operation during a shootout with the police. We have launched a manhunt for the remaining suspects who are on the run. We will not stop until we get them arrested. We were also able to recover 14 weapons, including AK-47 rifles, pump-action guns, a single-barrel gun, pistols, ammunition, vehicles, mobile phones, among others.
And that was the IGP Christian Tete Yohuno. Maxwell Agbagba of our security desk joins me in the studio with more. Maxwell, what do we know?
Well, we know that the Director General of the Criminal Investigations Department, COP Lydia Yakudonko, she's been disclosing that some of the weapons retrieved from the suspects actually belonged to police personnel who had their weapons snatched. We're told that in one incident, a police officer was killed and his service weapon snatched by the gang.
And gentlemen, it is worth noting that one of the AK-47 rifles marked GHGP/ASH/TEPA/TP/B1523 retrieved from this gang was a police service weapon issued to number 48034 G Corporal Francis Eduyao, then at Tepa Police District Headquarters, who was sadly attacked by armed robbers and killed on the Bibiani-Goso Highway on 29 November 2024 while he was returning from an official duty. This is an indication that this same gang committed that heinous crime. The other two AK-47 rifles, also service weapons, were snatched from officers who were on duty at Ecobank Ahafo Kenyasin when they were attacked by a gang of armed robbers on 8 September 2025. Between November 2024 and September 2025, the police administration responded to a series of bank robberies across the country. A critical analysis of these robberies revealed a similar modus operandi employed by the robbers. Their modus was that the gang armed with pump-action guns attack a bank, hold the security guards hostage, snatch their weapons, and then use industrial cutting machines to break into the vaults of the banks. Targeted intelligence gathering across the affected regions led police to one of the suspects, one Kwabna Owusu-Ansah alias Kobi, an ex-convict who is believed to be the mastermind who recruited several others for the robbery operations. On 18 September 2025, an intelligence team proceeded to Esereso Adeja, where sustained surveillance led to the arrest of suspect Kwesi Eje alias Cobra, the leader of the gang, in his hideout at Esereso Adeja.
Well, Maxwell, COP Lydia Yakudonko has also been given details on the rural banks that were attacked.
Yes, so like you mentioned, 10 of them attacked across, the country, 5 regions, we are told. And the police says from their own analysis and the patterns of the robbery, usually what happens is the gang moves into the rural bank, first attack the security men on duty, sometimes snatch their weapons before they move in, and then damage the vaults in the bank, carry cash, and any other thing that, you'll find. In fact, from April 2025 to September 2025, the police stated that they identified that the robbers, 2 robberies actually, each month. So from April, May, June, July, August, September.
The banks affected are as follows. Adansi Rural Bank in Fomena was attacked on the 10th of April 2025. The Lower Pra Rural Bank at Takrade in Traban was attacked on 24th April 2025. Asokori Rural Bank in Asokwa was attacked on the 18th of May 2025. Ahafo Kukom Rural Community Bank branch was attacked on the 30th of May 2025. In Wabeja Rural Bank at Ofinso was attacked on the 10th of July 2025. Bosomchi Rural Bank at Sontreso was attacked on the 18th of July 2025. Kakum Rural Bank at Elmina was attacked on 4th August 2025. MRB Bank in Winneba was attacked on the 15th of August 2025. The South Birim Rural Bank at Achim Asene was attacked on 16th August 2025. The EcoBank Ahafo Kenyasi branch was attacked on the 8th of September 2025. And lastly, St. Martin de Porres Co-op Credit Union at Atonsu, Monaco was attacked on 14th September.
Away from crime, there is growing anger and frustration over President John Mahama's reluctance to declare a state of emergency on all polluted river bodies amidst increasing destruction and acute water shortage. A recent data from the Environmental Protection Agency and Pure Earth has indicated the earth, water and food crops, including tomatoes, coconut, mangoes, kontomire and others, have all been poisoned with mercury, lead and cyanide in 6 regions, with Konongo Zongo, Konongo Odumasi and Western region being the worst hit areas. But more worrying is the fresh data from the Ghana Water Company Limited in the Central region, which has shown a record 94,800 turbidity level. A low 5 NTU in 2012 in the River Yinsu that feeds the Kwenyaku treatment plant, which officials say cannot be treated. Listen.
Around back then, we record color 450, 400, and the turbidity was around 33. Yeah. That is some
on average.
Yes, on average. You can see we even get 25 for turbidity. 31, 32.
Which was fine.
Which was fine. That one, the system was working well with it. You can see. This is on the 6th of September. On the 6th of September, yeah. So the turbidity, they recorded 94,800.
And the normal should be around what?
You can see, like 50.
Well, a member of the Ghana Coalition Against Galamsey, Senyor Hosea, expressed frustration on PM Express about President Mohammed's hesitation to declare a state of emergency on Galamsey, highlighting the tragic loss of 8 compatriots. Senyor Hosea urged government officials to vocally oppose Galamsey while in a position to take decisive action now.
Excellency the President, and I know him a bit. He's a good, nice man. Whatever is holding him, I don't know. John Mama is a good, fine man. His brain is on point. His children are sweet people. I can't understand that he would think of other people's children to drink this water. I don't think the First Lady in her sanity would ever sit down and approve of any of this when one of the people she loves the most has died. Why should the Minister of Lands be raving and ranting as if he's the only one on the street? Where are the people who said 1 week? Sam George, my brother, Igbo, Okujeto, where are you? We have to call you out. My own brother, Roxy, you cannot change your mouth. Please, it's not about your party. It is about Ghana. There should be something we should stand for. Somebody should die for something. Omani, my brother, he died for something. But his own people cannot even make what he died for even count. They are thinking that they've raised 3-something million or 6-something million using government donations and all that blah, blah, blah. To use that to mask and say, I'm thinking of your family. That's the small thinking that you people have. Nothing. Small thinking. You think you give people money and that is it. It's not just for what he wants. He wants you to transform this country. That's why Omani would have been a fine president. Please, we should stand for something. If you're an NDC man and this is happening, talk to your people. Stand out.
Let's stay on the story because the University Teachers Association of Ghana, UTAG, has consistently threatened to shut down the universities if government does not act. National President Professor Mamudu Akudugu says that critical decisions will be made next week after the expiration of a 90-day ultimatum to the president.
Most likely, we are having our Congress just next week, and that'll mark the end of the 3 months that we give. And so our biennial national Congress will be next week, and definitely Congress will take a decision as to what will be the next action. And we believe that definitely something concrete, they will take a concrete decision as to the next steps if nothing happens by.
Let's now hear the reaction of traders and buyers in Agbogbloshie to the EPA Pure Air data that reveals the poison of food crops due to Galamsey. My colleague Noella Karen Yale has more in this report.
I'm here at the Agbogbloshie market in the heart of Accra, and I'm standing right inside an offloaded truck. But for time, this truck would have been filled with foodstuffs that have come from regions like the Ashanti, Savannah, Western North, and the Western region.
Here, in Accra's largest food hub, many traders and shoppers are either unaware of the report or simply don't believe it. Brighter Woman, a tomato seller, hadn't heard about it.
What's the report?
Semikasa mati ya mibu aminti.
Nka what's yanka den nka be?
Oh, anyone is a beka ta che omo. Na sa chemicals na omo de ye no, na omo ntwa so.
Others, like Ya Ekuma, had heard of the findings, but dismissed them as impossible.
Oh, yate ni ntosi dia, ye ntosi o tu good o ha, ntosi na enye yi.
Enye yi say.
Ebe wukura, ebe kunnuya ni nyina.
Intimi fifi.
Ansokra. Ebe wutam.
For Ma Fosti, who sells kontomire, or cocoyam leaves, the claim is hard to believe. She insists the leafy vegetable could never grow on poisoned land.
Matibete nenye no kresa.
Ade nenye no kwe.
Wei enu ankasa na esuogu so a etimi fifi. Efri tete amani fi ye minyi ekwa manya be 55. Enye no kwe. Se asase a chemicals wo mu no. Kontomire ntumi fifi wo ho because ase ewura ni nyina ewo ho. Enti ebi ma.
Some shoppers, like Beatrice Larby, say even if the food is contaminated, washing with salt is enough to remove the danger.
Me pacho me de ansesa me. E say me toyi. Me kwa me de nchinsu obede. Warm water na me de nchinsu agu. Enchi agu na ma wohoro ho ansa na me de aye.
What impo say high levels of chemicals on cry over toward your happy.
Say meto. You say me nim kwa me fa so amaye a. Ebi nka. Sa.
Okay.
For others, awareness of the contamination changes nothing. With few alternatives, they keep buying what is available.
My colleague Noella Karen Yale filed that report away from Galamsey issues. The minority in Parliament has accused Foreign Affairs Minister Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa of gross violation of Ghana's constitution and international treaties and the acceptance of deportees from the United States of America. The minority's position is in reaction to government's decision to accept 14 West African nationals who have been deported from the U.S. Additionally, 40 other deportees are expected to touch down in Ghana. The minority have just finished addressing the press on the matter in Parliament, and my colleague James Aveji joins me with details. James, good afternoon. Thank you for your time on the Midday News. What more has the minority been saying at this press conference?
Well, Pearl, so you recall that this conversation was first when the 14 persons sat down in the country. In fact, 11 of those proceeded to take the government of Ghana to court, a case that was ruled out just yesterday. The minority believes that the Ghana's position to, admit such persons as not only a violation of the 1992 Constitution, but also an infringement on the Supreme Court ruling, which states that every form of agreement must come to Parliament for ratification. And so they are calling for a complete halt of every form of agreement between Ghana and the U.S. to accept deportees until there is ratification from Parliament.
James Avaji, thank you very much for that update from Parliament. Away from that, the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission has announced a 1.14% upward adjustment in electricity tariffs for all consumer categories, effective October 1, 2025. Water tariffs, however, will remain unchanged. In a statement signed by Acting Executive Secretary Shafiq Suleiman, the Commission explained that the decision was based on its quarterly tariff review mechanism, which takes into account key economic factors influencing the cost of delivering utility services. My colleague Masula Gbagba has joined me again in the studio with more on this. Tell us, the PURC says electricity tariffs are going up by 1.14%. Let's break it down. What is actually contributing to this hike, and what does it mean in terms of what does it mean in real terms for a typical household?
Yeah, so the Commission pointed to key economic factors, the cedi's depreciation against the dollar, rising inflation, and the cost of natural gas, all feeding into the decision. They also maintained the current balance between hydro and thermal generation. So for a household that is currently spending 200 cedis per month when it comes to electricity bills, the 1.14% increment translates into an additional 2.28 Ghana cedis. So their bill will now be about 202 cedis, 28 pesos. It may look marginal, but when multiplied across millions of consumers, it reflects a notable revenue adjustment for the power sector, Pearl.
But we also hear about lifeline consumers, the lowest income households when it comes to the consumption of electricity. How are they affected by this increment?
Okay, so lifeline consumers are the category of household who use up to 30 units, that's 30 kilowatt hours of electricity a month. They are the least consumers of electricity. So with the 1.14 adjustment, their bills will also go up, but only marginally. In fact, the increase is less than 50 pesos on a typical monthly bill.
Marcel Agbaba, thank you very much. Now let's hear from the PRC, which has been explaining the rationale behind the electricity tariff adjustment and why water tariffs remain unchanged. Here is Dr. Eric Obute, Director of Research and Corporate Affairs at the Commission.
The cost of gas and that of the energy mix did not change. It remained the same. But in the case of exchanges, the exchange rate depreciated marginally against what we used the last time. The last time we used 10 cedis, 70 pesos to the dollar to run the tariff. This time around, we're using an exchange rate of about 11 cedis, 97 pesos. Now, that means that there's a shortfall of about 40 pesos. So that 40 pesos added to the 11.97 came to about 12.37 cedis. So we are using 12 cedis, 37 pesos to the dollar. If we run through these numbers, we realize that the electricity price should go up by 1.14%. In the case of water, we use the same variables, and the shift in price was about 0.1%. In the wisdom of the commissioners, they thought 0.1% tariff adjustment wouldn't mean anything, so we should just keep it at the normal level because we are still in the process of doing the major tariff. That's how come we didn't touch the water tariffs at all.
And you're listening to the Midday News. Still to come. President Mahama's popularity takes a slight slip but scores historic majority approval across all 16 regions in the latest Info Analytics polls. We'll bring you details after this break.
Keep this frequency clear.
99.7.
When I wake up in the morning, I brush my teeth with Kale Charcoal toothpaste. This gives me confidence all day.
Anytime you meet Amma, don't be surprised I smile showing my beautiful white teeth because I don't have cavity thanks to Kale Charcoal toothpaste for its natural charcoal properties. In fact, we are like twins. I can't go without my Kale Charcoal toothpaste.
That be why I dey use Kale Charcoal toothpaste morning and night when I dey go bed safe. It dey make my teeth white when it dey comot every scent from my mouth inside. My confidence level they go up, so I dey show my 32 teeth all.
Introducing the Kale Charcoal toothpaste, formulated with activated bamboo charcoal powder, ensures whiter teeth and removes bad breath. The strong natural property of the activated bamboo charcoal removes bacteria, absorbs surface stains on our teeth caused by coffee, wines, and tobacco. Welcome, Kale Charcoal toothpaste. Kale Charcoal toothpaste, Sankofa Yenchi.
Kale, happy smile.
This advert is FDA approved.
The winning season is back, but this time I am collecting the wins like jollof at a wedding. The luckiest season 3 is here. Your chance to flip your luck or maybe your bank accounts too.
2 easy ways to join. Dial *712#. Hit 1 to buy for you or 2 to gift a friend. Feeling lucky? Pick 1 for a random number or hit 2 to choose your own. Pay with mobile money. Done. You're in.
Or go to theluckiestafrica.com, click community tickets, choose your number or let the system do so for you. You can buy a ticket for your boo or your favorite barber. Pay with Momo or card if you're abroad.
1 ticket could turn your 1 Ghana cedi into 500 times more. And the whole community could win 10 times over.
Dial *712# or log on.
Let's get lucky together because luck is everywhere.
You're welcome back to the Midday News. It's time for sport and Mubarak is here. What do we have in sports?
Thank you very much, Pearl, so it's Ghana's Black Starlets. They sit bottom of Group A with just 1 point after 2 matches at the Wafu B Under-17 Championship. This comes after a 3-0 defeat to host nation Ivory Coast. The Starlets must secure all 3 points against Niger in their final group game on Friday to stand any chance of reaching the next round. Remember, the competition serves as a qualifier for the Under-17 Africa Cup of Nations. And before I go, the University for Development Studies, they have booked their place in the semi-finals of the ongoing World Games in China. This was after their 5-2 victory over Kyonggil University of South Korea. Back to you, Pearl.
Thank you very much, Mubarak, for the latest in the world of sports. And let's bring you one of our top stories. And President John Maham's popularity remains robust nationwide, but a slight dip in his approval ratings is catching attention. According to Global Info Analytics September 2025 poll, his job approval has slipped 6 points from 73% in July to 67% in September. Growing worries about the pace of economic recovery and persistent hardship are likely contributing factors to the softening approval. Despite this drop, President Maham achieves a historic milestone. He is the first sitting president to garner majority approval across all 16 regions. Lead data analyst of the research desk, Isaac Kofieje, joins me in the studio with more from the latest polls. Isaac, what exactly did the poll find about President Maham's job approval?
Well, so in terms of the pure numbers, President Maham's approval ratings was around 66% in April of 2025. It jumped to 73% in July. Then we are seeing its first dip in October 2025 to about 67%. That's about 6 percentage point drop. That is very, very significant. In terms of his fight against corruption, if you look at July, 63% of Ghanaians believed he was fighting corruption, but this number has dropped from 63 to 58%. That is also another significant drop. There were Ghanaians the number of Ghanaians who believed that he was fighting corruption has dropped by a big percentage point. And so if you look at the raw numbers, this also, confirms what Imani in their sentiments report just about 2 weeks ago also came up with that report saying that the president's approval ratings has also gone down.
And what accounted for the dip in approval?
Well, not stated in the report, but over 9,000, Ghanaians were sampled across the length and breadth of the country, and according to the report, this is a 99%, confidence level. But if you look at what the director for Global Info Analytics has been saying, is simply because of oral and the fight against corruption, as well as the fight against, the CD rate that has been falling.
Isaac Kofieje, thank you so much for your time. Now, the Volta Regional Health Directorate is alarmed. It recorded 54 cases of cervical cancer between January and September 2025, with about 500 reported cases seen between 2016 and 2025. According to the Directorate, about 70% of these cases were identified when tumors had progressed to advanced stages, making survival slim. The Ghana Health Service is therefore warning against late reporting of such cases. There is more in the following report read by Fred Kwame Asari.
Hectoria Awikia is the acting Volta Regional Deputy Director of Public Health, the Ghana Health Service.
Any abnormal growth that we detect to be cancerous at the entrance of the uterus is what we are terming cervical cancer. And if you don't screen early and you come with symptoms, then most of the time we are not able to really give you the kind of care we need. So we are preventing primary prevention through the vaccination, secondary prevention through screening, and then early detection, and then tertiary prevention is when they have had the disease and we have to now try and prevent them from manage it, prevent them from dying.
Parents, guardians and community leaders are advised to encourage young girls between the ages of 19 and 14 years to take the HPV vaccine to protect them against cervical cancer. Fred Kwame Asari, Joy News. Ho.
Now, the Teachers and Educational Workers Union of the Trades Union Congress is rejecting government's proposal to defer agreed conditions of service to the next year budget, insisting on implementation this year. A standoff in the educational sector drags on. Labour and Employment Minister Dr. Rashid Pelpo, speaking on the AM show this morning, urged TUC to suspend the one-week strike and allow the government to defer their grievances to the 2026 budget, and there is no space to accommodate them this year. But the TUC, standing firm on its demands, National Chairman of the union, Salamatu Mahama Brima, said the union cannot grant government's proposal as they cannot continue working under poor working conditions.
If they cannot make provision for us now, then we would not agree to be, included in next year's budget. And look at the number of years we have operated on a tight conditions of service, and especially in the case of the GES. GES, they are left with only one item, and that is the allowance is an existing allowance.
And that was a national chair of the TUC, Salamatu Mahama Brima, and she spoke on Joy News Desk. And it's time for what's trending. And guess we see Adovia Sari.
Hi, Phil.
You're smiling.
Thank you. Well, CJ is trending. You know, President Mahama has nominated His Lordship Justice Paul Bafoboni as Chief Justice, and so many people are pouring in their congratulatory messages and their expectant, messages. They are expecting so much from him. Exactly. So that's what is going on. I think I'll take a comment or two and then move on. So someone says, MPK says, congratulations to Justice Paul Bafoboni is such a well-deserved strategic appointment. We wish him well, but there will be another CJ in 2027.
And on that congratulatory note, we end the midday news. I am Ofori, 11